Shalom.
Shalom.
We the real Hebrew Israelites come week in, week out, day in, day out to prophesy the downfall of America. Before we get started, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakadash.
And that is to say all praises to Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father. Bahashem, Bah means in, Ha means the, Shem means name. And Yahweh, ancient Paleo Hebrew language. Rachah HaKodash or Rachah Kodash is the Holy Spirit, which gives us the inspiration to bring out these lessons. Lord willing, this one is edifying. Can you check the sound out just to make sure we all good? But as you can see, the title is From France to America, Bible Prophecy. You know, from see the title. Okay, come on. Is From France to America, Bible Prophecy, because what you see happening right now in France. The government issued a statement last night saying that they were going to be going into a certain type of lockdown, and they would be restricting the internet access to the internet. But they said that they want to ensure the statement was written in French. I had to copy and paste it, put it in Google Translate, and read it myself. Because you got people that's another thing. Brothers, you got to fact check things because people will post something on Twitter or Instagram or something, and even if it has even if it is a law or a bill, if it's in another language, you got to translate it. And you got to, read it. So I read it, and it didn't say that they were going into a full lockdown like the original post said, but it said that they were going to be doing a certain type of lockdown, and they didn't say that they were going to cut all the internet like the original post did, but he did say that they were going to post some internet access after 9 p.m. And they said that they want to ensure the public that, the emergency services, 911 and all of that, so to speak, is not going to be affected. But see, this is just the beginning stages. Matter of fact, can a brother get real quick Matthew 24? All these are the beginning of sorrows. Just start it off because these things they happen. The Lord has these things happen abroad before He brings it to America, Babylon the Great, because He's saving the best or the worst for last, however you want to look at it.
I got it. St. Matthew 24:8, and it reads, all these are the beginning of sorrows.
Start at 6.
So like 6. And it reads, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end at the end is not yet.
But the end is not yet. Yep.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom.
You've seen that, with the Russia, Ukraine, you got Iran and Israel, you got North Korea talking shit, all these different nations, wrapped up America, China, Taiwan, these are all wars and rumors of wars because these are tokens. The word token means a sign. These are all tokens of Yahweh Shai's coming. Okay.
It says, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places.
Yeah, because all that rioting and all that looting that they doing over there in France, they claim that it's for a 17-year-old immigrant who was shot and killed. But all that rioting and that looting is just going to lead to famine. It's just going to lead to logistical problems. The deliveries and shipments not being able to make it to where they're going, or they get to where they're supposed to go, but the building is burned down. They said that they burned down over 1,000 buildings in the first week of protests. You see, because these immigrants, they from North, where you said they was from?
Western North Africa.
Right, Western North Africa, which we know the Israelites was scattered mainly Western North Africa. But the point I want to make is that in Africa, they burn shit up. They riot. They don't give a fuck. They do shit like that all the time. It's nothing for them to burn France how they burn it, But that's a snare unto you, because the Lord said you will heap of all men unto you, man. So by you bringing all these different nations, you just bring confusion and destruction upon yourself. And that's why it says, matter of fact, let's go to Habakkuk 2, because those immigrants, they claim that they're not getting a fair shake within the French society. And that's why they mad, they've been getting discriminated, they're getting jobs, whatever the case may be. They more than likely, most of them are Israelites, and they're not getting a fair shake in Esau's system. So read that.
Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death.
Right, because I saw like you know how you got the little newspaper comics, the political comics. It was a chicken that was painted like the French flag, and it was Africa, but it was in Africa. It was in the shape of Africa, but it was like a bag of chicken food, and the French chicken was just eating off of Africa. You see,
Wow.
because read that again.
And it says,
because it said neither keep it at home. This man's in everybody else's land, taking all the resources, getting rich off of them. But then when they want to come to your country, oh no, we can't let aliens in, we can't let immigrants in, close the border. But meanwhile, you and everybody else land taking everything that's of value from them, man.
It's Habakkuk 2 and 5 from the top. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
That's that, and the examples of that is in all European countries, man. America being the main one, but even when you go to the UK, England, Australia, they heap unto themselves all people. There's no restrictions on who could come in, who could come out. Unlike countries like North Korea, South Korea, you know, Iran, Iraq, you can't just walk up in there being a nigga, and if you do, you're going to get treated a certain way, man. You're not going to enjoy your trip, you know? Read the next verse, Papa Kashan.
Okay.
And then you got that.
6, and it reads, shall not all these take up a parable against him?
That's what they doing, man. You know, in a way, for whatever oppression that they're catching from him, they're taking up a parable against him, you know, and burning his cities with fire. You got it.
And a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Because it goes back to the history between the French and Africa. It's been colonization, you know, genocide, you know. It's built up pain and aggression that the world is taking out on the so-called white man. This ain't just a one shooting of a 17-year-old, you know, and now the Lord is bringing these things upon you, man. You have centuries of oppression and blood on your hands and increasing that which is not yours. And now these people are tired of it. Was that Proverbs 29 and 2? You know, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. So
I got a quick one. This is the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And that's just to show you, like the brother was saying, man, how these damn devils, man, like to go into these other foreign countries and take all of their resources and everything that that these countries use for themselves to survive. But Esau, he like to heap up to him all people and take all of their resources and everything and basically, turn everything upside down, man. That's why death and hell follow this man wherever so he goeth, man. That's why the Lord, got to come and put this man out of the rulership, man.
That's precept for you. This is Micah 2. That's what I heard. Okay. Micah 2 and 2. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away.
So like they said, they covet fields and take them by violence. Not only do they want and desire what another nation and another land may have, but they also take it by violence, which goes back to Esau Edom's blessing the sword.
Right. It says, Micah chapter 2, verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Next thing you know, they give you a whole nother nationality, whole nother identity, and you actually believe in it and clinging unto it.
Yeah, because the people of who speak French, Haitians, Matter of fact, can you type in who did the French conquer, or countries conquered by the French? It says, because it says they covet fields, take them by violence, houses. They oppress a man and his house, meaning his land, even a man and his heritage, right down to the heritage. You're no longer going to speak your native tongue. We're going to take that from you because that's a part of your heritage. We're going to take that from you. You're no longer going to celebrate your holy days. We're going to take that from you because that's a part of your heritage.
Right.
You see it? But then we're going to give you black, which means void of light, wicked, malicious. We're going to give you that, and you're going to call yourself that. Or we're going to name you an object like a rich port,
Just a quick search on Google. It says countries conquered by French, and it gives you a list of countries. And within those countries, of course, you see Haiti, you know, and Saint Lucia, you know, and
read all of them.
Yep, it says Senegal, Ivory
We
Coast.
gonna read all the blood on your hands, man.
Yep, it says Senegal, Ivory Coast, Algeria, Tunisia, and if I'm not mistaken, some of these are also northern and western African countries.
Yep.
You know, it says Tunisia, Guadeloupe, Mali, Niger, Mauritania, Guinea, Martinique, Gabon, Haiti, New Caledonia, Dominica, St. Lucia, Laos, French Congo, French Cameroons, and French Guyana.
So you're not innocent, man, because all the time we talk about the so-called white man here in America and what America has done as far as conquering. But what you got to understand is that the entire Edomite race have been conquering the planet Earth. If the so-called American Edomites got a stronghold over here, then the French Edomites are gonna say, well, fuck it, we just go get this land over here. You know, if America conquers the Western Hemisphere, fuck it, we just gonna get Africa. We're gonna divide Africa amongst the French and the British. You see? So this man, you gonna pay. Got something else?
Let's see if you can read the next verse, Michael.
Yep. This verse 3, St. Micah 3, verse 2, verse 3, it says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil.
So what's coming upon the earth is ultimately going to result in the biblical Edomites beginning with their wicked elite, okay, going into captivity and getting recompensed double for what they have done, not only to the children of Israel, but upon the earth. All the blood they done shed, all the deceit that they done spread. It said, against this family do I devise an evil. Talk about the family we just described, and those who conquer lands, you know, by their sword and they deceit and push out their vibration. Lord devises an evil. Devise means to plan. He intends to recompense the Edomites. And it says, you shall not remove your necks. Okay, neither shall you go heartily, meaning he's gonna bring them down and they're not gonna be able to escape what they got coming.
I can finish off in Ecclesiastes 10 and 9 say, why is earth and ashes proud? All right, metaphorically speaking of people in Esau Edom, because he's known as the proud, according to I think that's Jeremiah, most proud. All right, so it says, why is the earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than the covetous man. And we're just going into how Esau is covetous. All right, he want to desire something that's not his, man. That's wicked, man. All right, and it says, for such and one that sitteth his own soul and sell, because while he liveth, he cast away his bowels.
God, the thing about Esau, he got all the resources, he got everything. He rules over the planet Earth, but he doesn't regard that. He still wants what other people have, to the point where they want to be able to control what you think, whether or not you copy a woman, and things like that.
Yep, he has a God complex. He been lifted up so high that he think he the most high. He think that he has a natural right to the souls of other individuals, you know, and he wants to conquer that, you know.
That's why I say nothing more wicked than a covetous man, because here it is. He got he got what's sufficient for him. He still wants more. That's why the brother read the Habakkuk 2nd chapter. He is as death and cannot be satisfied.
Yep. Let's go to that article. Because what's going on over there, that's coming to America, which in the Holy Scripture is known as Babylon the Great, man. You know? I'm going to read this. Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I got it right here. This is the Indian Express journalism of Courage News. And it reads, violence in France is about pent-up anger.
Pent-up anger, that's the spirit. I said that. This is centuries of oppression, man. You know, it said in Isaiah 24 that we shall cry unto the Lord because of the oppressor, man. You know? You got it, though.
Violence in France is about pent-up anger against discrimination. Recent events in France should serve as a warning for other countries.
Yeah, I was going to say Isaiah 33:1, it says, when thou shalt cease to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee, man.
I was going to say, it should serve as a warning for other countries. Why? Because oppression has gone on in other countries. No, the Israelites are oppressed across the four corners of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because we have been scattered across the four corners of the earth according to the curses in Deuteronomy 28th chapter.
Including.
Yeah, so this is a warning to America.
Yeah, kind of.
What you see going over there, all you niggas and so-called Hispanics, you know, so-called spics in this country, you see what's going on in the world, and you think that you comfortable and you think that you safe over here. You're not, man. Okay, that's those same judgments and that same chaos and calamity and all them fires and all of that is going to be taking place right here in America.
Let me read this real quick. It's Second Ezra chapter 15 verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
It's close. That's what we telling you. You see, now right now you're seeing it afar off, but the Lord gonna bring that sword close to the point where it's at your doorstep, to the point where it's at your throat, about to get slit. You got it.
It says, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. You know, which that's what you see taking place in these other countries. And right now we're speaking about France, which France has been having riots for the past 6-7 months. Okay,
Man, it's been years, honestly, because I remember a couple of years ago they was having a yellow vest movement. I think that was France. The yellow jacket movement or whatever. They was protesting for 2 years straight. They was rioting for 2 years straight. The city had to adapt to just them being out there. You know what I'm saying? They just kept going on with life like it was normal that these people was protesting for 2 years straight. And I don't know if that ever stopped.
If I may add in, all right, this is prophecy, man. What the prophecy means to foretell the things that's coming, man. All right, so with that being said, those swords are your modern day guns or whatever weapon that a Jake or a Esau can come up with, man. All right, that's why you seeing these people burning down buildings, all right, whatever, man.
and not only that, but when you go into, because there was videos that surfaced upon the internet of the riots that was going on, you had people riding around shooting guns out their cars, just hanging out the roof. So that's the swords in their hands. You know, keep going to the article.
And it says, including.
Oh, let me read this one. This Second Ezra 9 verse 3. It say, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So you people, you always act like these uproars and these riots are not a big deal because it's over there in the other part of the world. But this is one of the things that the Heavenly Father spoke about from before the world was even made, man. He spoke about uproars because that's a significant sign of a change of worlds.
Right.
You got it, though.
It says, including India isolating and marginalizing minorities results in a severe backlash. And it says the alarming images and videos emerging from France in the last few days showing buildings on fire, charred cases of buses and cars smashed, storefronts, and violent street clashes between heavily armed police and hooded youth seem to show a country caught off guard.
So they going buck wild over there, okay? Which France, that's predominantly, you know, Edomite country, you know, but they going buck wild, okay? And that's what's coming upon the world, you know, because I read the Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, and it said the country was caught off guard. Okay, why? Because people, they think with Esau Edom ruling, he pushing out the spirit of people being complacent and being comfortable, you know, with all the wickedness that they doing and just what they call it, bread and circuses. So when these things start to happen, that's why people be caught off guard. And they tell you that 1 Thessalonians the 5th chapter, you know, when they shall say peace and safety, because recently you just had them declare that the WHO declared that the C19 scamdemic was over, and next thing you know, you got riots and things like that. You got blackouts being warned of coming and things like that. So that's why people were caught off guard.
Yeah, and France is not even a top Edomite nation. So if them people is asleep and settled on their leaves, how much more people here in America, man? You know?
I got that precept.
Can we go back to 2 Ezra 15 too? Yeah, read it. Keep reading. Because it's 2 Ezra. You're gonna go back to that article.
In 2 Ezra 15 and 16, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men."
That's what we was just reading about in the article. It was saying that it said France in the last few days showing buildings on fire, charred carcasses, of buses and cars, smashed storefronts, and violent street clashes between heavily armed police, militarized police, and hooded youth. You know, so that's sedition. Sedition means an uprising against an authority of government. Okay.
Yes, I got the etymology for the word sedition. It says rebellion, uprising, revolt.
Uprising and revolt. That's what they're doing. They're uprising and they're revolting over there in France, man. So 2 Ezra 15 is jumping off the page on that side of the world. But once again, we got to keep saying it. It's going to come here, man.
And it's going to be worse over here because the Americans, okay, which will be the modern day Egyptians, as it tell you in Isaiah the 19th chapter, how Egyptians shall fight against Egyptian. That goes back to them invading one another. But these Americans, they got guns, okay? They're going to be, and the rulers, they know that. That's why you got these different troops being deployed and things like that.
I got a precept better what you just said. It's Isaiah 47, verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that saith in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments.
That's going into the pompous state and the pridefulness of America.
Yeah, these Americans, man. You know, you know, the Lady Liberty. I shall sit a lady forever. You know, this place is just going to be the land of the free forever. No, it ain't. You know, it said that the Lord said that you're going to experience loss of children, widowhood. You know, the Lord said it's going to come upon you in its perfection because of your sorceries, because of your enchantments, man. You see, like the brother said in the article, it said that shocking. It said the horrifying images and videos that's coming from France. This is why the president of France is calling for an internet blackout. He called them to screw up the internet of all these different images of the news getting out about what's going on there. Because what that does is it make Esau look weak. It make Esau look like he got holes and cracks in his kingdom and he ain't got his shit together like he used to. Because these people is running rampant, just burning the whole cities down, man.
Finish this in 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men. We went to the word sedition, going to the rebellion. Okay, that's what you see. People rebelling against the police. And even though the police heavily armed, it says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another with slacking, which that shows you that this is all for the sake of prophecy. Because as it's going to read, it says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. The modern day kings and princes will be the governors and the mayors. You know, we got an article, it tells you how the mayor, okay, they burned down his house while him and his wife and his children was sleeping. So they didn't have no guard, no respect for him being a mayor. They don't care about that.
Yeah, we're gonna go to that. You got to queue up the article he talking about the mayor.
That's in the other article you had.
Yeah, I got it. It says rioters. Okay, this is express.co.uk. It says rioters rammed the home of French mayor with a burning car while wife and children slept inside.
Rammed the home with a burning car. So they not only did they set the house on fire, but they invaded it first. They smashed into it, you know, and then they ran into his house.
And it says after the dramatic awakening, the mayor's wife and her two children ran, but were chased by protesters behind the house and into the garden.
Damn, so they chased the woman and the children, man. You see, because these people, they're going to tear their elected officials apart, man. Like the brother said, it starts with your councilmen, your mayors, your city state representatives, senators, house representatives. All them people, they're going to be public enemy number one when this shit go down. Because, like the scripture say, Egyptian shall fight against Egyptian, man. Okay? It says, you tell you that Judah, his hand shall be in the neck of his enemy, man. You got it. Because the two-thirds got to get busy on you heathen and Esau, man. These different riots and these race wars that the Lord's going to have take place, every man turning to his own people, Okay, that's what you're seeing in France. They're gonna say that the protests and the riots is not from the immigrants, but we know that it is. And what's funny about that is a couple years ago they was letting hundreds of thousands of immigrants into their country. Okay, which is the same thing that America is doing right now, man. Okay, so what do you think is gonna be the result?
That's what that Title 42 expiring was all about. So now immigrants can come over here, okay, without having to worry about not being able to make it over. They willingly letting them come over.
Yep, they shipping them to Chicago. They busing them to New York City, and they giving them, they homing them with room and board. And I actually seen, so we talk about councilmen. I seen a city council meeting in Chicago, and the Israelite, the so-called black residents, they was complaining, and they was complaining to the government of Chicago because these immigrants is coming over here, they getting all these benefits, they putting them up in apartments and houses. Meanwhile, the hoods of Chicago is still like shit, man. But see, the Lord said, "Who shall bemoan for thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest?" They don't give a fuck about you, man. But let any Ukrainian or no Hamite or Chinese come over here, they're gonna set them up, they're gonna give them loans and all type of shit. But you niggas, you just gotta fend for yourself. But see, the Lord's gonna bring a situation on this planet Earth and on this country and on this whole Western Hemisphere where everybody's gonna have to fend for themselves, man. You got it.
I got it. This 2 Ezra 16 and 17, and it reads, "Woe is me, woe is me." Woe means destruction. Who will deliver me in those days? Yeah, who gonna deliver y'all in this times to come? All right, y'all people haven't repented. All right, you people have scoffed the prophets. All right, all day long, the Lord has stretched forth his hand to a gainsaying and disobedient people. So all of the stuff that the brothers been mentioning is gonna come here in Babylon the Great, aka America. It reads 18.
It's already coming here too, because the Lord giving you different signs. Because not only is the things that's happening on the other side of the world gonna come here, but the Lord also said that He's gonna bring the plagues of Egypt upon this place too, man. Like in New York City this past week, you had them bugs. They said it was swarms of these like gnat-like bugs. They said they don't even know what they is, but it was so many of them that was getting people noses and their eyes. You couldn't even walk or ride your bike. You see, so that's a part of them plagues.
18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings.
That's what we said earlier. This is just the beginning, man.
The beginning of famine and great death.
It's no wonder you having people getting shot and murdered every day in various cities throughout America. And it's only going to increase. It said the beginning.
The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear.
The different governors and mayors and even Sleepy Creepy Joe, if he in office at the time that all of this takes place, they not going to know what to do. It said the power shall stand in fear. Why? Because Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua is in control of everything.
The judgment's going to be manifesting. These Edomites, they know the Bible. They're going to know that, oh my God, it's happening.
It say the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? All right, just like Ezekiel, I think that's 7 and 5, or evil and only evils. All right, this is the time we coming in, man. Evil is not a good thing. I got a definition of a Google search of evil. It say wicked, bad, wrong, wrongful, unholy, ungodly, sinful, vile, corrupt. All right,
which all those words will describe the times we are entering into. About to see a lot of chaos, a lot of madness, and a lot of wickedness. About to see people eating their own kids. You about to see men, women, and children getting raped. You about to see a lot.
What's the word evil? The etymology of the word Eve meaning time, and then ill meaning bad. So the word literally translates to bad time.
That's what Ezra saw. That's why he said, him being a man of the Lord, the prophet, he said, "What shall I do when these evils shall come?" He actually saw how bad it was going to be. Okay, that's why he said, "Woe is me," because it was looking as if he wasn't going to make it. But the Lord, he has a remnant reserve, which is going to make it through these times.
Those are the ones that's going to take heed to these types of warnings. And in this type of news, they're going to be occupied in the prophecies. They're going to see what's going on the global stage and understand that the Heavenly Father is in control and He's manifesting His word as a guiding light, to the elect.
Isaiah 33 and 6. But wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of our time, man.
You still in the second Ezra?
Yeah. You want me to get that 19?
Yeah, keep reading.
It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
Because the things that the Lord is bringing on the earth as we speak, it's supposed to, your light bulb's supposed to cut on. Something supposed to click in your head. Okay, this is looking like the end of the world. But you have a lot of people. They it's in the air. You can feel it in the air. And a lot of people know that they say, oh, it's like we in the last days. Just a random person, you could be out at the grocery store and overhear somebody talking. They may say that. Okay, so these things that taking place upon the earth is for the Israelites to repent. But we know only the remnant is going to repent, ultimately be delivered.
Yeah, that's why it says in Ezekiel, rumor shall be upon rumor, and they shall seek a vision of the prophet, but there shall be none. Because, like you said, people they know it's the end of the world, but then they can't find their way to the correct teachings, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go try to find the correct teachings when it's too late. Keep going.
So like, yeah. All right. It reads 20. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
So even though all these things is happening, you got these wicked niggas, sticks, and tomahawks, as the beloved elder Zion, I like to call them. These ignorant niggas, sticks, and tomahawks still doing wickedness, still loving the oppressor, choosing the ways of the heathen and things like that.
It's the 4th of July right now. What do you think Jake doing? They got the American flag fit on. You know what I'm saying?
God.
With the Louis V swim trunks, the American flag.
God.
You niggas, man, your culture is it's a joke, man. Because it was given to you on a plantation, man.
21. Behold.
Where you at?
No.
No, call it out. Where you at?
Salakia. 2nd Esdras 16 and 21.
Jump down to verse 37.
2nd Esdras 16 and 37. And it reads, behold, the plagues draw nigh, meaning they're near, man, and are not slack.
Salakia, before you go to 37, can you read 21? Then go to 37.
21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case.
So that's what we were saying about you people over here, man. You don't think this thing is coming. The title lesson is from France to America. Mm-hmm. Bible prophecy. Bible prophecy not going to skip over America. Oh, yeah, the world is in chaos, but we in America, we good. You niggas is stupid, man. Bible prophecy not going to skip over America. As a matter of fact, Bible prophecy got a special type of judgment for America. Because in the scriptures, it's known as Mystery Babylon the Great, man. That's the thing about you, especially you Christian niggas. You actually think you'll view the world in that filter. You'll view the world as, America's a God-fearing country, so we're good over here. But the rest of the world's in chaos, and we need to give them Jesus, y'all. Anyway, man, let me start rambling. Go ahead,
it says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth.
That's what you're seeing, man. But like you said, the people, they ain't gonna repent. But evils is growing all around them on the earth.
Like you said, you got Jake over here in America wearing they American flag suit. Meanwhile, over there in France, you got people rioting.
Right. Yeah, they ain't on the white man Independence Day. I'm sure France got an Independence Day, but they burning that city down. Then see, that's how you know it's gonna be the Spirit of the Lord. It's gonna be a paradigm shift. And the Spirit of the Lord is going to put the spirit on you niggas to just go crazy, because you truly do believe in the system. You believe in black culture. You think that this is life. You truly do. You think that going to the club, buying a section, popping bottles, shaking your ass, and flexing your watch, you think that's life. You really do.
Right.
But see, you read that verse again, verse 21.
It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
Sword, famine, and great confusion is growing all around you. But all you can think to do is have a 4th of July pool party. All you can think to do is
Let's get out here and barbecue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get your what's that? The moonwalk out here for your kids.
Forsake the Lord, man.
Uh-huh.
That's all you can think to do is continue to not always be mindful of the scourges like we just read, man. You jump to 37.
Second Esdras 16:37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack.
And it say not slack, man. It's not lazy. You see these things happening.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, it shall speak and not lie.
Mm-hmm. Though it tarry, wait for it. 38. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, you people, you don't want to wait. You don't want to, like you said, though it tarry, wait for it. They don't want to wait for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if your woman was pregnant, you'll wait for the baby.
Right.
Even though you ain't know what day the baby was coming or nothing, just like we don't know what day the Lord is coming or nothing, you still wait for that.
That's right.
So why not wait for the Lord in the kingdom of heaven?
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord give you signs. Lord show, he gives you signs, the contractions, you see it. You got it though.
It says from the top of 38, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
So hey, the prophecies is coming. I mean, they're manifesting themselves because Yahushua is coming, man. That's why the prophecies is not slack. That's why we know these prophecies not gonna skip over America.
Because ultimately, that means we close to the Lord return. It said in the 9th month, within 2 or 3 hours of the son being delivered,
Right.
which means it's close.
Yeah.
You know, the deliverance is close to the elect of the nation of Israel. But it said simultaneously that the great pains is close as well, and they increase more and more the closer it gets to that woman giving birth to that child. The contractions, they start to become more frequent and more intense.
Yep.
I got one. This is with John chapter 16 and verse 21. It says, a woman, when she is in labor, has pain because her time to give birth.
Right. So what's the pain? What's this pain? So that the people could understand what the pains is and the that compass the womb. That's what we're talking about. The riots, the uproars of the people, the earthquakes, the wars, the rumors of wars. Those are the great pains that compass the womb of the earth. Because it says that the womb of the earth was given to every nation, which means it's talking about the kingdom, the rulership. Okay, when there's about to be a change of rulership, it's likened unto a baby being brought into the earth. You got it.
It's like I'm reading the KJV. It says, John chapter 16 verse 21. It says, a woman, when she is in travail, hath sorrow, because her hour is come. But as soon as she is delivered of a child, she remembereth no more the anguish for joy that a man is born into the world. And I got this because, like the brother had mentioned, you know, it's phases to birth. You know what I mean? You got the first stages when the baby is conceived, being fertilized. And then, you know what I mean, all the way up until the stage where the birth pains and then the deliverance. You know what I mean? So that's the Lord beautifully described it. The time that we come into in the scriptures is a woman's timely birth cycle, man.
Right, because like you said, it's when they call it delivering the baby.
Mm-hmm.
They call it delivering the baby. Like we need deliverance.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Deliverance is gonna come through Yahushua. Good.
Okay. Second Ezra 16 and 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth.
Because we just mentioned the different, brother just mentioned how it's a process, and at the latter end of the process of a woman giving birth, it's the great pains. So the Lord compares those great pains of a woman giving birth likened unto the plagues. The plagues being the sufferings and calamities and trouble and the evils, which goes back to the bad times that the earth is entering into. Okay, so it's going to become more frequent. You're going to have more riots. Okay, and like the title lesson, it's going to be from France to America. Because America is about to get the worst judgment ever.
It says, and the world shall mourn.
Yeah, the world is mourning. Go ahead.
And sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
So France, that's just one side. But the Lord said He's gonna bring sorrow on every side, man. It said 1,000 shall fall at thy right hand and 10,000 at thy left, roughly paraphrasing, but it shall not come near the elect.
I got one.
Go to sleep and speak to you.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these must come to pass, but the end is not yet."
No, keep reading.
Yeah, kind of. Verse 7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall it says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name." So I'm looking for something.
Well, that's spirit though, because we read that verse earlier.
Mm.
You know, because these are just the beginning of sorrows, and we seeing all those clues that Yahweh Shah was giving to his disciples. We're seeing all of those clues being manifested on the global scale, man.
Did y'all get that about the uproars of the people?
Yeah,
All
kind
right,
of.
yeah, kind
Go
of.
to Luke 21 and verse 26.
All right, this is
So like I
Yeah,
was saying,
read that while you
this is the Greek. This is a blue letter for the word sorrows. It says Odin G5604 says the pain of childbirth, showing you that the Lord was quoting Ezra. Okay, the beginning of sorrows, likening unto the beginning of a woman going into labor and starting to get those contractions. It says the pain of childbirth, travail pain, birth pains. Also says intolerable anguish in reference to the dire calamities precede the advent of the Messiah. So basically, even the scholars know that this is speaking of the evils that's going to come upon the earth prior to our Lord and Savior Yahweh shall return.
Got that?
yeah, this is the book of Luke, chapter 21, and verse 20. What you said, 26?
Yep, 26. What that say?
26 says, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
Read it one more time.
Is this what you wanted?
Yep. Yeah, I think so.
All right, I start verse 25.
Okay.
All right, this book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 25 says, "And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars."
Which we've been having a lot of blood moons recently.
Right.
And there's going to be more to come.
Which these are only signs that the elect can see. You know what I mean?
We know what they're a token of.
Right. Because it says signs in the sun and the moon. The scriptures talk about like the month. You know what I mean? The new month, and then you got the high holy days where it break down. When those high holy days come in. But everybody else concerning the moon and the stars, it's astrology or it's, what I mean? It's the Lord has put a stumbling block and a blockade from everybody who we don't want to receive this.
Yeah, seeing they perceive not, they don't understand that. Like you said, we use when we see blood moons,
Right.
We connected to the coming of Yahweh Shah.
Exactly.
Whereas the world see a blood moon, they just see, it's pretty moon.
Yeah. But that's also the days where Esau be doing a lot of wickedness too. You know what I mean?
Sacrificing.
Mm-hmm.
But you got it.
It says, "And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations."
Right. That's the point right there. We're seeing the distress of nations, man. Okay. Rioters. All this is coming to America. We ain't gonna be the dead horse. We're gonna get a couple more and then we're gonna close, man. You got it.
Now, I was gonna say uproars of the people, like you was mentioning the France yellow jacket thing, which has been going on for years now.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't think that shit ever stopped. They just did a media blackout.
Yeah. It's just like a birth pain. Like, how much more can you take before something, even bigger comes out of that? And that's the times that we coming into. The scriptures we just read in Matthew chapter 24, the beginning of sorrows. Beginning of sorrows.
Right.
Because
the end goal, or the end result, I should say, because it's not the goal of Esau, but the end result is your world being destroyed by thermonuclear fire, man. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be, all these things just going to build and build and build until more and more chaos and destruction.
Exactly.
Until the Lord have completely consumed you.
Right, that's in the scriptures. The scriptures say, this can be my last piece of line. But the scriptures say in the book of Luke, I think that's chapter 14, where it talk about a fire have already been kindled,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So hey, the fire, literally people throwing with those Molotovs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Running into the banks, running into these marketplaces,
Looting the stores and stuff.
yeah, running into these marketplaces with their vehicles. This is this is going on everywhere now. Now America is going to be, you know what I mean, the last one up to that plate, but it's going to be the most, you know what I mean. It's going to be like the most you know what I mean. The Lord is going to put a lot of judgment on this place, man.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a lot of death here too, because when the people rise up against America, America has to be. It pretty much, America has always been the one that held the rest of the world together.
Right.
Because America always in order. They always got their shit together, so they get everybody else in order. But once America loses order, you know what I'm saying, then it's gonna be like, well, where on the planet can you go?
Right.
And you know what I'm saying, so to speak, have a
Peaceful life.
so to speak, even though it's not peaceful anyway. You know, so they're gonna come down hard on these American people because they have to maintain order on a global scale. They're gonna just be shooting to kill, man, shooting live ammunition. They shooting live ammunition in France. You got something?
You got something?
Yeah, I was just gonna, let me back off the brother who quoted that Luke 14, or about that fire, and who won't be able to, to quench it. All right. The second Ezra 16:3, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire and stubble when it have begun to burn?
Because that's what the Lord is gonna send against this place, man. Ultimately, He's gonna send the sword and fire. That sword gonna come via men. That's why I say, man, any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood. That's talking about people coming at you. It said, well, may one quench the fire and stubble when it have began to burn. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. That's a man with a gun. It say, or we know also on a higher level, or on a how do you say? I guess on a bigger spiritual scale, it's talking about the missiles. But before it get there, you're gonna have other things. It says the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?
That's right.
Nobody, man. Definitely not no damn Edomite, man.
That was
worship the devil.
That was Luke chapter 12 and verse 49, talking about what will I to be our kingdom.
Oh yeah, that's it right there.
Well, we're gonna finish the second 15, and then we're gonna close with that one. Yeah, start at verse 16, read the 19.
Second Ezra 15:16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another.
Right, invade means to penetrate somebody's private space with hostility. You know, to come in looking to attack. That's what it means to invade. Got it.
They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
Right. What's the president of France? Macron. That nigga was on the golf course while his country's burning to the ground. And then I seen somebody put under the picture, Nero played with the fiddle while Rome burned. Got it though.
And the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Because they making arrests, but everybody's not getting arrested. Majority of people are still out there. That's why the rioting is continuing. Because the course of their action is standing in their power.
It say a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
This prompted the president of France to bring in a lockdown. They say it's not going to be a severe lockdown, how we thinking, but these is the beginning stages. Before it could be a severe lockdown, it got to be this. So who's to say that a severe lockdown is not on the way when the Lord already said that it's on the way? Read that again.
Second Ezra 15:17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
In America, well, that's not going to come to America. So why are they making 15-minute cities? If that's not coming to America, why are they making 15-minute cities? Why do they want to keep you in a 15-minute radius? Why they want to ban gas cars and make all cars electric when electric cars can only run for 2 hours before you got to, go back home? So which means that you can only go an hour in that direction and an hour back. They want to keep you restricted. You're going to have a desire to go to certain places, but you're not going to be able. especially when that sea hip come, and every store you go into is gonna pick up your sensor and be able to track you and know where you at all times. You got it though.
18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid.
Yep. Keep going.
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword.
See, oppression, how you say social injustice, that's not really the main motivator. But that got people burning down shit, that got people fighting, that got people ready to die just for being socially oppressed. So how much more when you fucking hungry, which is a literal necessity to live. These people go beyond berserk, man. We say it all the time. You see it in the movies, but it's gonna go beyond what you see in the movies, man. How these people gonna be acting.
They say art imitates life, and the imitation is not the real thing, but it's close to it.
Right.
And it says, they spoil their goods.
Read from top, verse 19.
It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation.
So that's when it's really gonna be real, man. When people are not rioting for a 17-year-old getting shot, but people rioting because there's not enough food. That's when it's gonna get real. You know?
The scripture talks about it's better to, fall upon the sword, to fall into famine, man.
Exactly.
Roughly paraphrasing, man. People's stomachs gonna be touching their backs, man. People gonna be hallucinating, man, looking at you like you a piece of turkey or food or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Your kids, your women gonna have a fucked up ass time, man. Because the Lord's about to humble everybody.
Yep, come on. You gotta close it?
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 33, starting at verse 16, because basically, you got these different things that's about to come upon the earth, and we're not the only ones that can see. Because you got these different truthers and people like that, they can see these things coming, and guess what they try to do? They try to prepare for it.
Right.
But this Psalms chapter 33 and verse 16.
Yeah, I seen something on Twitter. There was some guy claiming he was in the military, and he said he claimed in the Marine Corps, and he claimed that America is going to carry out a strike in Ukraine on a Ukrainian nuclear base with either on July 4th or the 5th, and they're going to blame it on Russia, and that's going to cause Russia to shoot missiles. So in the message, he was saying to people, you need to prepare, go and hug your loved ones, and prepare now. You have 48 hours before Russia shoots missiles on America. My thing is, how the fuck you gonna prepare for nuclear destruction? There's no preparation. The only preparation is praying that your soul is predestined for salvation. That's it, man. You're not gonna escape. I just laughed at that shit. Like, this nigga telling, if it was really missiles on the way today or tomorrow, it's over, man.
That's it.
You just gotta hope you get beamed up, or hope you don't, melt slow. Hope you melt fast.
Psalms chapter 33, verse 16. There is no king saved by the multitude of a host.
So your army ain't gonna be able to save you, man. He's in the army. He was talking about he's scared.
And it says, a mighty man is not delivered by much strength. And horse is a vain thing for safety, neither shall he deliver any by his great strength. So it's give you, different situations where certain things will actually matter. Okay, a mighty man, someone a so-called bodybuilder, okay, that will actually, play a part, but it's not going to play a part in the times we're coming into. And ultimately, when the missiles get shot over here. In verse 18, it's the point. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive and famine. So ultimately, that's what's going to count, whether or not you fear the Lord and whether or not he is actually watching over you. The scriptures say the angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him. And it says, why? To deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. So when these things start to actually take place right before our eyes, Lord willing, we are the elect, the Lord is going to keep us alive. He's going to sustain brothers, and ultimately, he's going to deliver brothers from the missiles, because we know that's the second death that's about to come.
Right. Yep. That's it. So Lord, we pray this, hope and pray this is edifying. From France, next stop America, man. Lord willing, it's gonna come. We'll give all praise, honor, and glory to you.
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Kakadash.
Antonia, I forgot to say it. Mashanakabad, Lahazakon, Mishar Godar Khan, Salaki. Double honors to the elders, Apostle Great Millstone, all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, Kwame Shai, Shalom.
Shalom. Ball.